All right, hello everyone. My name is Disc. I'm a title healer from the War Within, and this is a 17 Seed of the Triumvirate with a pug. It was a timed key, it was not a perfect key, and we're going to cover all of that in the video. Here's a flash of the talents. Not too much to Oracle at the moment, it's pretty straightforward. We do want Phantasm, that's going to help a lot with the front room and other polls. But this is a re-recording. Well, I'm re-recording the intro anyway. I wanted to get this back on my channel to serve some purpose before the expansion hits in a couple of weeks. And I also wanted to go ahead and advertise that my Medify is up and running again. So it's medify.gg/justdiscipline, and that is where I do all of my coaching. That is where I'll be sharing all of my codes for members. And I will be covering Voidweaver and Oracle. This will be something I'm going to be doing throughout the expansion. It's a great way to learn, a great way to support the channel. So please go check me out over there and let me know what you think. I do hope to have memberships working on YouTube again shortly, but for the moment, if you'd like to support the channel, the best way you can do that is buying a lesson or just subscribing as a member on Medify. I'd really appreciate it, and it would do a lot to support the future of Just Discipline. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and clip over to the key. All right, here we go. A couple things that never hurts to do before a key starts is go ahead and stack your palms. You could precast a Radiance to go ahead and have your cooldown reset. And this is a full send on pull. I believe I PI the Warlock. This is where we want to play Phantasm big time. It breaks the chains. And I'm working on preserving my mana a little bit better by casting less dots, letting my penance do it. Okay, PI's not out yet. Okay, there goes PI. There goes Fade. Arguably, I could have held Fade there for a split second and done better. Okay, putting my penance on cooldown. Putting a shield on cooldown for the haste. Found a target with a dot mid-air. Always making sure we penance a mob with a dot. Switching targets for Searing Light. And we just rinse and repeat 2 more times. Found my focus early on the Subjugator. Evangelism. Fade the attack off. Found to execute defensive penance for that heal absorb. Noticing with grid 2 it shows up as red. Have to heal those off as Oracle. Defensive penance are a major play. I would say it boils down to instinct, but you kind of have to know when to and when not to. And kind of always having it in your back pocket as an option is good to be in practice of. Okay, last Subjugator. I think we take mobs on the steps too. I'm drinking. I gave my shields to others because I know I'm going to Phantasm it off. Switching targets for Searing Light. Defensive penance for the mage. Something I'm trying to get better too with he was too close to the boss. Mana management. Trying to cast less dots, trying to cast less flash heals. If you look at the breakdown for the costs of spells, those are very expensive. That might be something I focus on next video, is just do a little breakdown. Just a little chart. Okay, we have PI, we have Evangelism, both pain sups. And this tank, I have played with him a couple times. The rest of the key, the rest of the party is a pug. Okay, but it actually looks like... I was going to say the DK should have gotten PI there, looking at the meters. And there are single target jumps here. They do not show on party frames the best thing you can do to shield that person, I believe, is turn on friendly nameplates. And this Oozing Slam is a great place for group heals. It is group rot. So Atonement Healing, Radiance, Evangelism, Mind Blast, things like that. Okay, shield myself right before. We have an instant cast Radiance. Perfect. And I should have cast Mind Blast there too. That's fine. Shield the mage. He got selected. You might notice as well, side note, I've turned off numerals on my debuffs on nameplate. Oozing Slams are great places for defensives, Desperate Prayer, and Fade. And if I were to critique myself, I probably should be attacking the adds more. Oh, actually, that's not the play here. Or I don't know what the play is, to be honest. Okay, we do have Evangelism. Not sure if I play it here. I think I hold. Defensive Penance with a Mind Blast is hella single target. Shielded myself. But to finish my thought, I've turned off numerals on my debuffs on nameplates. I think it actually adds a lot to just visual clutter. All I really need to know is my target holding a Shadow Word Pain or not? Because Penance kind of does the rest naturally, does it passively. So seeing all those extra numbers, I don't think does anything to help. I think it just clutters. So I turned those off, I think only yesterday. I think it's better. Okay, we have uppies, we have PI. And with these packs, I miss the days of tracking trash attack timers on nameplate. But we kind of just have to go by feel. And these big guys, what's their name? Rift Warden. Okay, a couple of dots, a penance. They cast AoE group damage in like 5 or 6 seconds into the pole. I think it's called Rift Tear. So I delay a little bit. I had a Dispel and a Bleed. Mass Dispel for the win. Yikes, Mage was not atoned for that. But we have to watch for bleeds in party. They don't show up as a bleed. You just have to watch for the good mage there, his defensives. Some bleeds show up as bleeds, and that one just shows up as a debuff, so it kind of sucks. But you have to watch party frames for who takes those bleeds. There's, I think, 2 at a time, and also dispels. I'm not sure what the magic dot does, but I'm sure it's not good. Switching targets for Searing Light. Not a bad idea in a light pull like this to get as much out as you can with your Atonement Healing. 2 Searing Lights is twice as many as 1 Searing Light. I'm struggling here with the tank. Defensive Penance into the tank. Almost lost it there, but we're good. Okay, I am Pretty much always I hope they change something about that. Voidweaver, I don't think I ever went below 50% mana. Okay, have a focus early. We also have Chains to Break here with Fade. I don't know what just happened. Okay, PI's out on the mage. I think people are saying Arcane is the way to go for DPS and like PIs. But in hindsight, the tank and I were talking, and we don't think this mage was like that great. I don't think it's a bad idea to look at your overall DPS and maybe just award the person in first. I think a lot of power comes from player, not spec. Okay, we have another Rift Warden. AoE group damage happens about 5 or 6 seconds after pull. Spreading a couple dots first. I have Evangelism in both of my personal defensives. Asked to spell that off. And I Fade here as my personal. Radiance. Desperate Prayer as well. No reason to hold it. Mind Blast for the Shadowy Penance. Trying to never use Mind Blast without a Harsh Discipline paired with it. And something I encourage everyone to do, even if you're more experienced, every now and then I just kind of read through my talents to see if there's some small detail that I might have missed. And especially being newer to Oracle, I did that a couple days ago. And I forgot that there was a talent that makes shields and flash shields hit harder on yourself. So I've talked about it in my past videos, but I have a separate keybind to cast shields on myself. A lot of times when it comes to dropping a Wheel and Woe stack, I just need to drop it. It doesn't really matter where it goes. And as a healer, don't think it's a bad idea to give yourself some extra defense with those shields. But yeah, good idea, if you ask me, to have a separate keybind to @player power word shield. Okay, we had an uppies. We have bleeds and party, have to watch for those. I wish they would highlight better. Yikes. So always point the finger at yourself. I could have favored him a little bit more with defensive penance. I could have also given him a paints up. So I think an area for improvement for myself, and this goes for like as long as I play Discipline, is being more proactive with playing paints ups on DPS. Not just a tank button, and as Oracle we're going to have more paints ups because we have more shields. I very easily could have given him a paints up there, would have changed the pull, but we're okay. Okay, we have bleeds and party. Okay, well there's a paints up for once. Mass dispel that off. Switch targets for Searing Light. And we're back to these 2 target bleeds. Okay, that time the mage died. He had a bleed, but pretty sure he died from ground damage. Wow, did he just take a res right into more ground damage? So we talked about it in my last video, the Mysar's Caverns. Taking a res is a skill. I think a lot of people don't give it the time or energy that's necessary, and I think they just cross their fingers and accept. Taking a res is not luck-based, it's skill-based. God, mage down again. So you probably know this, but the best thing to do when you have a res pending is take a breath. Take a beat. Look into the field where your spawn point is marked. There's a little glow. Clue into where the fight is mechanically, the timers, and then take your res. You know, you can... Dying like he did nothing to help us. He could have given a 1 or 2 second beat and lived. Okay. So on this, we have a phase dash. It is a small hit. Great place for fade. And then overload is the group-wide damage. Great place for evangelism, mind blast. Okay, and a 3-target cleave boss like this, great place to practice your dot spread just with penance. Keeping your pain up with penance, having at least 2 searing lights up at any given time. And there are bleeds that go out here, single target bleeds. See them on party frames. Got to heal those. They don't take too much attention, but you do need to beware. I gave myself a pain sub. I think that was overkill. Don't need to do that for a phase dash. And this bird, the bat, needs to be interrupted, but I don't think it's anything your fear can do. Okay, defensive penance into myself. I'm going ham on these personal pain subs. That was not needed. I think a Healthstone might have been better. Okay, fade for this. Defensive penance to get him up. Okay, we do have evangelism. I mean, we do have uppies. Yeah. A penance and a shield. A radiance, penance, and a shield, and then uppies. And now evangelism. So I think this fight has been a little more chaotic than it needed to be. I think I could have played it better if I were able to customize my boss timers. And I think that is something that developers are adding in. We can turn on and off certain abilities per our liking, per our role. So looking forward to that. Hopefully I can parse out some solutions before the expansion hits and pass them your way. But on that fight, I would turn off probably all timers except for the phase dash and what was the other one called? Overload? Okay, this we have 2 target cleave. Grip the lock for fun. So this is a little hard for me at the moment because I don't have any assist spells. Let's see if we can get back into it. We just had the mage die, so not too big of a loss. But with these 2 target cleave attacks, you can see them coming. So that's a great place to precast a shield. And then after the attack hits, you can expect a dot. It's not too significant unless it's a 2-stack, which can happen. Okay, so I hit both my defensives there. Defensive penance into myself just to not play around. And there we had an example. I was picked twice in a row. I had no personals to give, but I did have a pain sup and a defensive penance. I need to recast Fortitude. I'm trying to tell him to slow down. He's done this to me before, Pale Horse. You might be watching this, and I know I've said it to you before. You gotta watch my mana. Sorry, but you gotta watch it. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have bleeds and dots. So this is a rough pull. I think we get through it. Let's see. So we have bleeds and dots. We're going to want to favor defensive penance. I'm probably going to neglect searing dot spread. Yeah, I don't like this pull. I don't know if this was intended, but with the bleeds and the dots, the mage died there because he had both. He has both again. Okay, I was picked. Desperate Prayer and Fade. And then we could be coordinating here a little bit better. I think if this were maybe a key with a group or on retail pushing for IO, it would probably be better to coordinate and focus one of these mobs down rather than having them both dying at like the same time. Like I would mark one with a skull, is what I'm saying. God, I missed a phone call. Call them back in a minute. Okay, going into this next room, I think we have a lot of people eat balls, which sucks on trash and on boss. But these guys, the Grand Shadow, whatever their name is, they do single target attacks as well. Good to watch for those on your party frames. Defensive penance are a good idea on them. Let's see, I have uppies here. I would like to play it. I forget if I do or not. Maybe next poll. Definitely should have used it there. We're going to want uppies on boss, but we have a full room of trash that's going to take at least like a minute and a half. If not more, so I should have played it there. Okay, just getting PI as well. Okay, here's my uppies. Yeah, so like critiquing myself, uppies sat there for like a minute. If I were going to play it in this room, I should have played it sooner. Okay, now it looks like the lock is coming out on top for DPS. I think I start hitting the lock. Okay, we have evangelism rolling. Switching targets for Searing Light. I'm selected with a single target. Great place for personal defensives, defensive penance. Another defensive penance. A couple flash heals. Uh-oh. I'd have to click that back, but I'm not going to stop the video. Was he hit by a ball? I'm not sure what got him. Okay, there's a single target attack. Defensive penance. Got a drink. Okay, this boss, admittedly, I don't know it too well. I think there's only a couple boss timers we have to watch for. And in hindsight, the tank and I talked about this. We struggled because we don't think the DK was killing the adds at all. But let's see how it goes. Okay, PI the DK. We have 3 target cleave. Similar to the adds, but 3 people instead of 1. And that's called the repulse, I believe. So you got to beware on the repulse. And then when the adds spawn, it looks like there's a hit of damage. Okay, this is spooky for me because yikes, lock stood up a fraction of a second too soon. I was asking for AMZ there because I didn't have anything, and the DK did not play AMZ. Health potion. AMZ is perfect for those group-wide attacks when you're stacked, so that would have been an amazing place for it. But he plays it here. Okay, I have pain subs, I have defensive, personal defensives. Let's see how I play it. Okay, played my personal defensives. So again, critiquing myself with paint ups. I'm sitting at a 2-stack. That's objectively not good. I should have played one there on at least the mage. That could have changed the outcome. I think this fight was just kind of stressing me out overall. The adds weren't going down, which contribute to a lot of extra damage. And I think it's because the DK did not attack adds at all. Yeah, you can see him back there. He's just on the boss. Gosh. Okay, we do have uppies here, though. So we're not full health. It's going to be a good idea to play uppies like as quickly as I can. Okay, Radiance and Fade into uppies. Arguably an overplay of defensives. You don't need to play Fade with your uppies. And no mana. Okay. Play to paint up for once. Personal defensive because this is likely the last round of attacks. But on ad spawn, I'm going to have to watch this back from a perspective where I'm not doing the voiceover and see if I can learn the names of the attacks better. Hopefully soon, I've already said this, we'll be able to customize our boss timers and I don't have to spend the time discerning, oh, is this the attack I need the heals for? I'd rather just see 1 or 2 bars and know that's for timing my heals rather than seeing 5 bars and have to pause and read them, Kind of cringe. Hard boss, I don't think the mechanics were played well, contributed to it being a mess. We lacked teamwork. The DK didn't attack the adds at all. The DK did not play AMZ on the group attack. And I didn't play paints up enough, so I'll take some blame. And this next boss, I actually think is easier. But we have 3 target cleave again, great place for paint ups and personal defensives. We have rot damage on start, so good idea to go ahead and play your Mind Blast and some penance. And we have a burn phase. Okay, let's see. I have Evangelism, I have PI, 1 paints up.
It is rare that a Naru falls into void this way. The few cases I know of have occurred when mortals were involved. What fascinating implications.
Such musings can wait, though.
Okay, I believe I send PI on Rip. To critique myself here as well, I should be playing Shield on cooldown, even if combat is halted. Defensive penance. Do have evangelism. We're going to want to queue it soon. Okay. So that almost sucked. I hit my button for defensives, and my Desperate Prayer did not queue. My Fade did, but Desperate Prayer did not. Okay, but here's the Evangelism to recover. Arguably, should have played Evangelism to cover the other beam attack. I think it's called Discordant Beam. Let's see. Yeah, this Discordant Beam, you need everyone topped before... Whoa. Okay, gave the Locka paints up. He is our MVP. We're about to have uppies. So here comes another discordant beam. I don't have a personal, but I do have a paints up. But I think we're good. Yeah, paints up myself. I just can't die here. And here comes a damage phase. So we are just but a priest, but a good idea to do as much damage as you can. This is also a great phase to ramp your shields and party. There is a hit of damage coming out of this phase. I think it's called backlash right there on the timers. And I could have done better with these shield ramps. Like right now, I don't have one. Okay, we have uppies and evangelism. Should be totally good here to polish it off. Going for uppies first. Looks like Z-axis does not save you here. Thankfully there was a shield. Evangelism's out. Instant radiance on the move. Radiance into Mind Blast into Penance for the Shadowy Penance. Catching some executes for the win. But yeah, there was a 17 seed of the Triumvirate for more IO. It was not an easy key overall. I can admit it's a key I don't know super well, but I think I'm getting into the better hang of playing Oracle. Critiquing myself, I need to be better with paints ups. I am not using those to the best of my ability. But I think a lot of our problems here were due to a lack of coordination, missing mechanics, killing the adds from the DK. But there's really on these bosses only 1.5 timers you need to track. Looking forward to the changes to the API where we can turn timers off. I think that'll be a major game changer for anyone who's playing a healer. It actually makes it quite hard for me seeing all the timers. Here's a splash of the damage and healing below. But yeah, seeing all the timers I think is actually does yourself a disservice. If you can turn off timers that don't have to do with timing heals is better. So looking forward to that. And yeah, if anyone has any questions about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, let me know. Keep an eye out for my Metafy, which I will be relaunching next week. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, Disc.